Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. They taught me their skills and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. Straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw SS fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have been the best of things, piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, Our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Yuuzhan ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Grays Air Base Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that?
There's smoke! We're under attack. Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead.
How is that possible? The tank farm to the north has been bombed.
Many injured.
Scramble! All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base! This is not a drill!
Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron. Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. Situation is tight. It's a hell of a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Do that. Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
Carrier. Whoa. Looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit. Mage 2, form up with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this. Golem Squadron, it's go time.
Roger that.
Going for understood.
This is the AWACS Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
Wilco. Trigger, I'm your wingman. Fly with me now. That's what it means to be in an element.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Not bad, Mage 2. Trigger, switch your radar. See if you can locate the enemy. There it is, sitting there all pretty, just waiting to be taken.
Mage 2.
They're way overhead. He's mine. He's not getting away.
Target confirmed down. Looking good, Mage 2. Mage 2, target's in range. Pair of bombers.
Trigger, stay calm. You got this. I know the kid's shown some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely gotten his feet wet.
Mage 2, walking. Mage 2, target down.
That's it. It's great when it's simple.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece. Skykeeper, this is Mage 1 over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Oh, there, Trigger, settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Welcome. Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Column, Mage, 2 new enemy groups.
Mage 2, attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify.
Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass.
UAVs. I can't tell them apart.
Fox 2! Fox 2! Evade! Evade!
Harbor facilities and carrier destroyed. Combat mission accomplished. We've still got half our baggage. Emptying over the hangars and runways.
Mage 2's
Mage. Job well done. All bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
Good going, Mage 2. Flight Commander looks like he's got what it takes. Let's slow down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Column Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones?
What's the deal with all the drones?
Column 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
I am Princess Rosa Cassette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Citizens of Erusia.
Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. Situation is tight. It's a hell of a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
Carrier. Whoa. Looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties.
We are currently assessing the damage. We have confirmed. We know the attack. International Union. Many wars are. That means successfully You have our thanks.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Erusia, has been seized by the Erusian Army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Erusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared
Thanks.
a
That was
national
just the
state
first
of
mission,
emergency.
the easiest of
They have
all the
ordered
missions.
all its armed forces, including Erusian
So, yeah.
peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack.
I made the
Ladies and
mistake.
gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
I made the
Breaking
mistake.
news from ENN.
Okay, enough now.
Osea launched an attack on the capital today.
I made the mistake of starting the campaign on hard.
The world
So
was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid.
got
Yuzha
to
was
mission
on the wrong side of the
13.
planet and got hit hard.
Thought I'd start over on normal
Refugees swarmed the
instead of
Erusian
breaking my
Republic,
head.
the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Erusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Erusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusea, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusea went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration...
I also wish they had a lot more missions in VR. VR is excellent.
Single drop of blood.
But 3 missions compared to the over 20
the elevator when it happened and
we have for the campaign, and you know, if you want to call it the normal mode,
the Erusian ships that were docked all around
kind of disappointing. It is so good in VR. Whole game should be playable in VR.
Doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusea didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Ocean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
The sequences are good, but sometimes jump around. You don't really know necessarily which side they're talking about or from.
Into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days and then swung east. That's
too bad this game didn't have any HDR, though.
I was thousands of kilometers from Erusea on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent.
But still, looks great.
For a port,
beautiful
it was dull
game.
As hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out and set the dogs on me.
So, finally.
Erusea has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war.
Have you played the
right after the declaration
missions in VR, Brandon?
Began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces.
And what do you think of them?
Forces aligned with Erusea are currently appearing throughout Usea. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had it. So I take it you're still an Ace Combat fan? This one has 8 air-to-ground missiles. Great.
Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? You should be close.
Yep.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Flee our vehicle out of there!
It's popping off now, Trigger. War has officially begun.
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
Wilco, here they come. Take them down. Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
2 targets remaining.
Just about to go online. Push the plan forward too fast. They need to get off in Allied territory.
Trigger, there's one more to go.
H2 shot down a bandit.
Traffic flares deployed.
Behind you. Enemy on your tail.
It didn't connect.
Shit. Back in a sec. About that. Yeah, the wife calls in such great moments. Yeah, I'm getting Anthem. Come on.
H2, walking.
Rocktown bandit. The clouds don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock onto their targets, too.
The enemy has a lock on you, H2.
Enemies travel a long way, so they're trying to hit this quickly.
H2, target destroyed.
Gone to, lost to.
It's chow time.
Missile hit.
Solo 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now. Blaze, you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
H2, locked.
Fox 2.
Fire into your gun. Now! Coming at you. Grenade! Leave it out!
Didn't connect. Losing it after their allies on the ground were taken out. Can't say I blame them. All right, clean up that last radar vehicle. There's nothing in your way now.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Oh, to see the Erusians' faces now.
Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transports are taxiing.
Do we really have interceptors? They're still pounding us.
Magnum.
No, they're not linked to the radar vehicles. Launch manually. Redo the setup. Here's some feedback from those poor merchants. Write your manuals in a language we can understand.
All right, this base is worth destroying. targets remaining. Target is hit.
Keep your mind focused. Locked. Launch preparations complete. Bolts are free. Whenever you're ready. Stand clear 15 meters. UAVs ready to launch. Away. What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogies on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones. Well spotted, clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
The enemy has a lock on you, H2.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter. She's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning. Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah. Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
Mage 2 is taking down an enemy. How many's that now?
Just 2 more. Feels like I'm riding a roller coaster up here. This one's mine. The enemy does a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase him down and pull the trigger.
Missile evaded.
Trigger, don't let them give you the runaround. Take them down one at a time. Golem Squadron, surround them.
Let's go through this without any casualties.
Show up on the radar.
H2, missile launch.
The aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt. So, drones don't give a cheap for us, huh? Missile inbound, evade!
Chaff and flares are right low.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
What I like about this, you get to watch a little bit of a replay after each mission if you want.
Destroy the target.
Just trying to get used to which cameras are good. Don't worry, I won't watch all of it, just want to watch a little bit of it.
Any aircraft shot
Maybe refresh my coffee.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? We should be close.
Yep. Intercept! Fire the AA! Flee our vehicle out of there! It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Anyway.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keep...
Only A. How long have you had a PS4? I'm assuming you're on PS4 and you don't know how to add people?
Saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer
How old are
major
you, man?
damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier, Kestrel 2, was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel 2 is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen
Well, if you're watching from the PS4, you should be able to add me from there.
They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, MQ-101. The Osean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal
If you have the
Bird,
app,
dispatched
you can
them to
just
the space elevator to provide support. However,
look for
it's
my
been
gamer
reported
tag.
that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant
Which
obstacle.
one is this now? Sorry, I'm trying to remember which mission this is.
We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
Wait, what am I doing? Trying to remember what happens because they never usually tell you. They always just show you pretty much the beginning, but then it can get very different after. What should I do? I don't remember.
Squadron, aircraft preparations complete.
Pretty easy once you get used to it. Is that you, Bambi?
H2 is away. H2, specified altitude reached. Restrictions lifted. Good luck.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation. Gollum and the other base's squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Gollum 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that we get wet and wild and do dirty, dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to them like glue. Don't let them out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first high season finished.
Mage 2, bandit down. Excellent work.
If you can't evade a missile, use chaff and flares. Your fingers should still move, even if you're in a 9G turn.
I got me.
3 remaining.
Keep your eyes open in those clouds.
Eject! We need reinforcements now! Enemy light tail. I can't take him.
I've got one right behind me.
Roger 6.
Mage 2, walking.
Nice kill.
1 remaining. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat. Missile incoming. Evade! Break! Break!
What the hell?
Caution, missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert. We just learned that Eruzia is utilizing the Arsenal Berg. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock. Break, now!
We're just waiting for mission.
We'll live through this, Trigger. These guys are definitely a step above the last drones. These guys will go down easy.
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the Arsenal Berg. observation area immediately.
Bringing an observation. Dangerous earlier, more or less would have survived the hearing.
Save your chatter for the debriefing. Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
We'll go, but Golem 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back in
It won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
Fox 2, targeting gun range.
I'm in his blind spot. He's mine.
Mage 2, UAV down.
The longer it takes, the worse our odds of getting out of here are. Machines don't get tired.
Retreating aircraft, leave the AO. Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, hang in there and come back safe. Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs. Good work.
Enemy has a lock.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
Locked. More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
My status is fine.
This is Gargoyle 1. Leading Operation Airspace with Golem 2.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
One back. SU-30.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile! Skykeeper. Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report. Just talk to me.
I'm against an SU-30. Twin tips. I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run.
Mage 2, UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Fort Gray's aircraft. We'll let you take it easy next time.
I'm 10 feet. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared.
This is not good. Rowdy, break off. That's it, baby. Come to puppy. That's it, Trigger. Their machines don't show any mercy.
Golem and Mage Squadron. Help us.
Get those UAVs off of France.
Missile did not connect.
This Golem and Mage Squadron. Mail call through.
Get your asses out. been splashed.
I said what I had to say.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, withdraw.
H2, we have you on radar. You are cleared for approach. The deck is clear. H2, you are cleared for landing. 3,000 to carrier. Lower your speed. H2, bank right. 1,500 to carrier. H2, nose hop. You're too low. Perfect, Mage 2. I knew you'd be back. Now return to base.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation. Golem and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Golem 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that we can wet wild and do dirty, dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to them like glue. Don't let them out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins.
Mage 2, bandit down. Excellent work.
If you can't evade a missile, use chaff and flares. Your fingers should still move, even if you're in an IG turn. They got me!
3 remaining.
Keep your eyes open in those clouds.
We need reinforcements now! Enemy on my tail! I can't shake him! Roger 6.
Mage 2, walking.
Nice kill.
1 remaining. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was a failure. The aircraft carrier Kestrel II was sunk during the attack on Farbanti. Carrier... Arrow? If it... The situation is grim. We have...
That's what I wanted. S.
comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10.
I do hope stream quality is okay for you.
Engaging the enemy in combat so we can
I
use
hope.
his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around
You mean
here.
that at the top there?
We got
Left
all
side,
kinds
yeah,
of
that black
critters,
box
too.
is when I'm
Everything
turning
from
my
guards, rabid dogs, and a
mic
mechanic
on
to
and off.
stretch for life.
For some reason, it
I
just
can't forget
locks
the
that.
rats. Yeah, we got those. And
Whatever
some pilots
pops
who
up.
got their wings clipped too.
Or if I unlock
One's
a
a
trophy,
great pilot
you
who
won't
had a
see that
lousy
either.
tooth.
That
One's
black
a
box will
gambler
pop
with
up
no
again.
luck.
It's
And
if I
one's an
do something
anarchist with no balls.
on my headset or
Their job here was to rev the engines on the
yeah.
fake
No worries, man.
weapons. The idea was for Aruja's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Aruja lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? Because someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more
So
charming.
just a quick heads up, I'll be on
could
for
say
about
her
another
charm was
half
like a
hour,
virus.
and then I have to go
Whenever she'd
for a
point
little
out
bit.
stuff that was wrong with
I'll be
Osia,
back this
the
afternoon.
prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners.
I mean, I'm sure you've got plenty of things to do and other streams to watch, but if you're interested, this
way
afternoon when I come back, I want to
sit
start
here
off
and
with the
walk away
VR
in this
missions.
Dark blue.
There are only
Instead of
3,
building fake-ass planes to
but
trick Aruja,
I want to
I'm
play
gonna
them
build
again.
one that'll really
They're just
take
so
off.
good.
You can count on that.
And then depending on if there are any other friends online already. Oh, rescue. Ooh.
As proved by the failure of our previous strategy, the Arsenal birds have bolstered the enemy's anti-air network. This will be difficult to overcome. However, we still need to get swiftly to the space elevator no matter what it takes. Someone there is counting on us. The hero of the Circum-Pacific War and the man who spearheaded the construction of the space elevator. Osia's former president, Mr. Harling.
This is when I have to fly through the air defenses. Oh, this is fun.
He's been classified as missing since the elevator was taken over by the Erusian forces. However, According to the latest intel, a military officer accompanying Mr. Harling hid him inside the facility. Both are waiting for a chance to escape. Enemy anti-air radar network has been set up around the space elevator. It's likely a large squadron would be detected. We will send a single aircraft through the network and send in a rescue team soon after. A number of anti-air radars have been set up around the space elevator.
I remember this.
However,
Okay.
our reconnaissance suggests their network is weakest along the southeastern coast of Selatapura, so we can elude the enemy's observation. There are a lot of rain clouds this time of year. Flying through the clouds will enable us to stay hidden from their radar. If you happen to be detected by their radar, we will be forced to abort the mission.
So if you've played an Ace Combat game before, this will kind of be familiar, where you have to avoid, you know, being detected by a radar, and they're shown by big red circles.
Provide escort for Mr. Harling's craft after rendezvous. Good luck out there, everyone.
Okay, this could be a really weird one. Okay, it starts off with ground targets, and then I get attacked later on from the shore. So I do need air-to-surface missiles, but I need air-to-air as well, which makes the decision even harder. See, because they don't show any ground targets at all here, which is funny, because air targets, I mean, because afterwards I'm telling you there's a shitload of air targets. Oh man. Oh, what do I do? Gotta make sure to have enough missiles for afterwards. What do you think? F-18? I'll take the air-to-surface missiles. I'll try with this one. If it's a bad choice, I'll just have to start over. Because afterwards I've got quite a few air to ground as well. This mission ends in chaos for your, for your character, if you will. Don't need it. Got it. Okay. Alright, it'll have to do. We'll see. If not, I'll have to try again later. Because the beginning can be quite annoying. If you just get a little bit of your plane stuck into that radar, you can start over again. But that should be okay. And then after it gets hot, once you make it to the needle, to the elevator,
Entering operation area. Imposing radio silence. We'll radio you, but you are not permitted to make contact.
If you're spotted, the mission is over. Stay out of enemy radar. Use of weaponry is also strictly forbidden. Okay, you're heading up the Harling rescue mission. The success of this mission depends on you. Good luck. King is still the president in my eyes. He ended the war, built the space elevator, and launched a spaceship from it. Despite his success, he remained a humble hero. I'll do my best to save him. Lend me a hand, Trigger. Rendezvous point dead ahead. Hang in there.
Are we under attack? No change.
Trigger, the first stage of the mission is clear. Don't celebrate yet. The real fight's about to get started.
Man, that was hot. Holy crap. Man, that wind though.
Now lifted. The auxiliary craft will be arriving shortly. Destroy the anti-air around the space elevator. We're securing Sea Goblin's landing zone. Sam down. Mage 2, target destroyed. Half of the SAM sites are down. The enemy has a lock on you, Mage 2. Target down. Nicely done. Mage 2, locked. Mage 2, target down. All SAM sites down. There are still AA guns. Destroy them and secure the LZ.
Trigger, sorry about the wait. Cavalry's here. Column Squadron. Trigger jumped through the fire. Now it's our turn. Understood.
Gargoyle Squadron, stay focused. You all know your job.
All aircraft, eliminate the enemy before they can respond. Sea Goblin will arrive shortly. Eliminate hostile anti-air before that. Half of the anti-air guns down.
This is Sea Goblin. We've arrived. Do we have a clear LZ?
Mission still in progress. Stand by. Mage 2, rescue team can't land until anti-air weapons are down. Destroy them.
Target eliminated. Good work.
All anti-air guns destroyed. The landing zone is secure. Sea Goblin, you're clear to land.
Roger. Rendezvous point in sight. We're almost there.
Multiple bandits over Selatapura Harbor. They're container-launched UAVs.
Rescue craft tagged on. Initiate.
Rescue craft on the ground is defenseless. Golem and Mage, destroy all hostiles.
It's been a long journey, but you're on the home stretch.
Gargoyle will stand by near the space elevator.
Sea Goblin, heading over to the express location now. Run for the container! Missile in the air, evade now!
Mage 2, vehicle destroyed. Bombers, respond. Is Mr. Harling alive? Eliminate all enemy UAVs. Don't let up.
They got the chopper and Sierra too! That was so barbaric!
UAV is moving away from the harbor toward the space elevators. Shoot them down. Damn.
Good two, hang in there.
That's about half. Mop up the rest.
This is Colonel Johnson. Do you copy? I am with President Harling. Rescue unit down. All but the soldier who had this radio. Get Mr. Harling out of here.
Sir, we feel the same way. We'll figure something out. Locked.
We found an Norwegian transport craft. Its engines are on.
I heard you were in the Air Force, Colonel. Can you fly?
Better than Mr. Harling.
Will do. All squadrons be advised. The call sign is Mother Goose 1. I've sent the information via the data link.
Mother Goose 1? That's the best you can call it.
Page 2, kill confirmed.
Missile launched. One remaining. Targeting gun range. All UAVs have been splashed. All aircraft. Former President Harling's transport is ready to take off. Mother Goose 1, take off. Let's wait till we're home safe. H Squadron, Mother Goose 1 is heading south. Provide support. 5 minutes remaining.
Skykeeper, bogeys on my radar. Bearing 220.
Sighting confirmed as MQ-101, forerunner for Arsenal Bird.
The big bird is coming, huh?
Mage, protect Mother Goose 1. Shoot down any UAVs. Gollum, intercept the UAVs.
Golem 1 will kill. That last battle taught me a lot about those a-holes. Golem 2, don't stray off on me. Always maintain element.
Wilco, forming up.
Targeting range of guns.
Rock acquired. I'm spiked.
Ready. Transport. Orders are to fire warnings.
Golem 4 Fox 2.
Yes, sir. He's an old-timer. Has no clue how UAVs are used.
Mother Goose 1, UAV on your tail. Take evasive action.
I hear you. This isn't exactly a fight. Radar lock acquired.
Understood. An Arsenal bird is on its way. I chose liberty over justice. Courses have already changed.
Colonel 1, where's the signal? Convoy squadron, stand by for my orders. What about the lighthouse? I need the harbor.
have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. Cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good.
Colonel Johnson, okay?
Just send Hook this way. I'm sorry. Get Mr. Harley. Please.
Mother Goose 1, respond. Mother Goose 1.
Skykeeper, should we continue providing cover for Mother Goose 1?
Of course.
I've got one right behind me. Attack missed.
Mother Goose 1 is turning. What's going on? They're heading to the space elevator.
It's flying at a steady altitude. Who's in control?
It's not the Colonel. Mr. Harling's the only one on board. Mother Goose 1, respond! Mr. Harling, please respond!
We can't protect our objective if it sticks around here. Now's not the time to freak out, fellas. We've still got a job to do, so let's do it. Keep your mind focused.
Mr. Harling, we are not giving up on you. The UAVs are approaching Mother Goose 1.
Let's go, Trigger.
Take them down now, Mage Squadron. 1 minute remaining. Mother Goose 1, turn 180 degrees and exit combat airspace. Mother Goose 1, Mr. Harlan, are you piloting that plane?
Arsenal Bird Liberty, passing waypoint 2.
The UAVs are continuing their attack.
They're obsessed with that transport.
UAVs launched from Arsenal Bird Liberty, headed toward the AO.
Mage, destroy.
Mate 2!
Oh my god, Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was OG. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating. Friendly fire. I saw it. Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like a
Didn't have much choice today. How's everybody doing?
They just killed a hero.
Mage 1. It's a Trigger. Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told you to keep a goddamn eye in the hatchling. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal Bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately.
Well, shit.
Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand?
Well, I guess I did all right.
The operation to rescue former President Harling has failed.
No shit.
Sadly, there is no hope he survived. Trigger, you are suspected of assassinating a former president. There will be an inquiry. There will most probably be a court-martial.
Oops. What? Only A? Come on. Alright, just a heads up, people. I've got to go for about a quick hour. So, I've got about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes left in me. We'll see what happens. See if we can't have a look at this. Another nice sequence.
Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Ocean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show.
So like I mentioned before,
up they went, day after day after day.
When
Today
I come
they toss
back,
someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here.
when I come back in like an hour time, I'm going to start off with the VR missions, if anybody's interested.
When your allies are surrounded,
Then I'll
one of the
continue
most
this.
dangerous missions is giving them cover to
But I like playing the VR missions every
Whoever
day.
signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this, talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
All right, guys, I'll let you in on some juicy info. The new guy was found guilty by the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial. He is the murderer of Harling in the flesh. His tack name's Trigger. Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Ocean Air Force Base 444th Squadron. But that is just some symbolic bullshit. It doesn't really matter if he's Harling's murderer or not. Every last one of you has been incarcerated for one reason or another. You cons have an obligation to atone for your crimes. A few of you in the penal unit know how to fly, and HQ needs to plug the deficit in our Air Force. So they proposed sending you guys on a reconnaissance mission to the Waiapolo Mountains. But that idea was flat out rejected. Nope, you'll be atoning for your crimes right here at this base. This base is a decoy designed to draw enemy fire. And as members of this base, you'll be taking hits from the enemy. This will allow our forces to safely prepare a counterattack.
So I guess I'll do this mission.
Switch off that alarm. It's just
But
the usual.
if you guys want to catch that VR this afternoon, it's not a must, of course, but hit that sub button and then you'll see when I'm on. There's just 3 VR missions, but they're excellent. I wish the whole game was in VR. But then once that's done, I'll continue this campaign.
Some of those piles of junk can at least take off.
But this mission shouldn't be too long.
Let's get the cons in the sky first. We'll start with Harling's murderer. We don't expect you to down any bombers. But what we do want is to make them think that we've got an active base here.
MiG-29s, Su-33s. Okay. Let's take this F-18. Well, the F-15 doesn't really have you know, I've got more air-to-air missiles with this one.
Convicts, proceed with your mission now.
Alright, give this one a shot. So if I fail, it's your fault, Brandon. Right? Okay, I can blame you then. Alright. At the beginning, I'm not even allowed to attack any.
Follow orders, Trigger.
All weapons will be locked. Because we're all convicts.
Wait in front of the runway. Control, would you kindly
supposedly.
send me a burst?
Spare 8, Champ, this is the control tower. You're not cleared for takeoff. Obey orders.
Go to hell.
All aircraft preparing for takeoff. Watch out for Spare 8. He's forcing a takeoff.
I'll take up command. Any objections? That'll get decided in the skies. Touche.
Trigger, your call sign is Spare 15. Consider it your prisoner number for the air. Commencing deception and interception.
Spare 15, the runway's free. You have permission to take off. Go now.
Woohoo! My blood's boiling! Toss the chump in solitary once he gets back. Spare 8, when you land, your ass is grass.
Spare 15, takeoff confirmed. Altitude restriction lifted. Go.
So, no missiles again. The FCS is locked. Damn, you're good. Let's make this more interesting. Prisoners use nothing without supervision. Not even a pencil. Here comes Harling's murderer. He shot 2 missiles right between old Harling's eyes. Always in the know, aren't you? In this war, intel is a life or death matter. Settle down. Excited to have another murderer with you? Yeah! This is Bandog. Spare 15, I'm handling surveillance. The bombers that attacked the runway are coming back for another round. I know it's just a dummy runway. You guys just need to make a lot of noise. Make them think there's fighters in the base. Anyone got a smoke? I'll owe you one. If any of you die, just think of it as you atoning for your crimes. One more thing. Any aircraft leaving the operation area will be shot down. You hear me? Shoot down all. Commander McKinsey? Damn it! Spare squadron, listen up. Shoot down everything carrying bombs. It's free. You're clear to engage. Show no mercy.
Gonna have to rethink the odds. Had missiles. Wanna bet which one of us gets the first kill, Trigger?
This is the beam unit.
First. If
I decide when you die.
Alright, I'm assuming command. All aircraft support me. Who's gonna dance the floor line to? I'll show you all how it's done.
Spare 15, bandit splashed.
Trigger, keep an eye on your head count. We can compare later. Yeah, I'm betting that report will get dressed up real pretty.
Head to the next target. Radar pinned. Incoming hostile group detected. Take care of them. The bomb is at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches. The more scratches, the more heinous the crime. They're called SIM lines. You have 3 scratches, right, Trigger? Well, you are Harlan's murderer.
We're cut off. We can't break away. We can't. We lost all of them. Where the hell are we out of here?
Your ass is mine. Die. Missile in the air. Heads up. High roller, you've got company.
Bandit acquired. Locked on. There's a number storm tank superior yet on the base.
He's too quick.
Fight! Breaking away! The headline failed! Bandit back. Missile incoming. Break. We're losing escort. Hurry up. Finish the job and let's get out. How do we run this job? Break behind you.
This is decent at what he's famous for. I wouldn't go that far. Target's that slow on a challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer.
Multiple bandits inbound. They got bombers and support.
All aircraft follow me. You two, murderer. Gee, now he thinks he's squadron leader.
Breaking from enemy.
Trigger, don't get shut down now. I got good money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back.
Spare 7, shut up. They got spare 15.
Your fault, Brandon. Mission's taking too long now.
Spare squadron, listen up. Shoot down everything carrying bombs. Weapons free. You're cleared to engage. Show no mercy.
We'll be done by now. After we think the odds. Wanna bet which one of us gets the first kill? Trigger starts.
This is the beam unit.
Counts going
I decide when you die.
All right, I'm assuming command. All aircraft support me. Who's gonna dance the floor line to? I'll show you all how it's done.
Spare 15, bandit splashed.
Trigger, keep an eye on your head count. We can compare later. Yeah, I'm betting that will get dressed up real pretty. Bingo. Right in.
Right. Breaking away. I'm in position. He's mine.
Sorry, I got lucky.
Radar pinged. Incoming hostile group detected. Take care of it.
Righto.
A bomb is at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Your ass is mine. Die.
I've yet to confirm the destruction of the targets. Continue on with the mission.
Trigger shot down a bomber. That was some fancy flying, Mr. Murderer.
Head to the next target.
Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches. 4 scratches.
suspicious, the more heinous the crime. They're called sin lines. You have 3 scratches, right, Trigger? Well, you are Harling's murderer.
Stall warning.
You're mine.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Firing. All aircraft back to your own discretion.
Focus on destroying the target. Keep the top score again. Because kills are self-reported.
Missile.
I wouldn't go that far. Target's that same on a challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer. Square 6, Fox 2. Multiple bandits inbound. They got bombers and support. All aircraft follow me. You too, murderer. Jeez, now he's a squadron leader.
Missile.
We're losing escorts. Hurry out. Finish the job and let's get out.
Missile.
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 Trigger, don't get shot down now. I got good money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back. Spare 7, shut up.
Missile.
You don't need a yap to pull the trigger.
Missile. Missile.
Trigger again! Don't get excited. Beginner's luck.
Hurry up and break. Behind you.
The targets are still active. Keep up the attack. What the hell are you doing?
Missile.
Are you... Wilco, Ben and McKenzie, please maintain silence for the moment. This is a pretty nice ride. Policeman service pretty good. Can't believe these some scrap. Just what kind of magic does she have up her sleeves anyway? I don't know what her problem is. Acting like she's royalty or something. That's because she's the scrap queen. Queen? More like a bad-tempered tomboy. Trigger got most of them. Maybe even all of them. That was dumb luck, tabloid. Spare 15, don't take all the fun away from your comrades. Spare 15, what the hell are you doing? Attack! Missed! 3 targets remaining.
Bring that down. I'm surrounded.
Wow, look at Trigger go. Lucky shot.
Locked on hostile. We're too busy to maneuver. I can't get away.
They got spare 15.
I'm not gonna have time to finish it with this plane, so I'm gonna have to take that other plane. Okay, I'm gonna start over with another plane. This was a bad choice. For some reason, this thing doesn't take any damage. I mean, really. Alright. So I will catch you in a bit. In about an hour's time, I'll be back.